Hi everyone, today's lesson from Unit 3.2, Part 2 is all about slope and also about slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines. Recall from Algebra 1 that slope of a line is represented by lowercase letter m, and we say that slope is rise over run. Or you may have heard or may have seen this symbol, the change in y over the change in x. That little triangle is a little delta, and it stands for change in. But most often, when we talk about slope, we'll be writing the formula, which is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So if we want to take a look at finding slope between 2 points, if we use the equation, if this is x1, y1 for our first point, this is x2, y2 for the second point, we can say that the slope, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, would be negative 5 minus 3 divided by negative 2 minus 4. Negative 5 minus 3 gives us negative 8 in the numerator. Negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6, and we need to reduce that. Well, negative divided by a negative becomes positive, and 8 and 6 are both divisible by 2, so when we simplify it, it becomes 4/3. Now, I just want you to notice if we had started with the other y value first, if we had done 3 minus negative 5, we'd also have to start with the other x value first in the denominator, 4 minus negative 2. I just want to show you that the result would be the same. 3 minus a negative 5 turns into 3 plus 5, which is positive 8. 4 minus a negative 2 turns into 4 plus 2, which is 6. That also simplifies to 4 over 3. So it doesn't matter which point you use first and which point you use second, but whatever y value you use first in the numerator, you need to use the corresponding x value first in the denominator. So your points always line up vertically. If you want to find slope from a graph, start from the point further to the left on your line, which is this point at negative 3, negative 1. And then we want to move to this point to the right, which is at 3, 3. So we want to do the rise first, so we count up how many squares we're moving. So that's a positive 1, 2, 3, 4 for the change in y, or a rise of 4. And then we want to go to the right till you get back to the line. This would be the run. And it has a run of positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we would say in this case the slope, or the change in y over the change in x, would be 4 over 6, and that simplifies to 2/3. Okay, so 2 different ways of finding slope. Slope between 2 points, finding it algebraically. You could also find slope from a graph. Okay, if 2 lines are parallel, then they have the same slope. So we'll use this to prove that 2 lines are parallel. So here's our x-axis, y-axis. We're going to find the slope of line CD. And we're also going to find the slope of line AB. And then we'll compare the two. Okay. So the slope of line CD, if we start here on the left at point C, we want to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. So the change in y would be negative 4. And then the change in x, going to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the slope of line CD is negative 4/5. And let's check out the slope of line AB. So from A to B, we want to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a change in y of negative 4. And the change in x is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the two lines are parallel because they have the same slope. So we could say AB is parallel to CD. Okay, with perpendicular lines, we say that their slopes are negative reciprocals. Okay, so what that means is that if the slope of the first line, say, is 3/2, its negative reciprocal would be negative 2/3. One line has a positive slope, like in our picture, line EF. I can tell from looking at it that it has a positive slope because it rises to the right, and line AB has a negative slope because it falls as you look at it from left to right. So let's find the slope of line segment or line AB. Okay, slope of line AB. Start at the point further to the left and count down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has a slope of negative 4/5. And next, let's find the slope of line segment or line EF. Again, start with a point that's further to the left. This time we're going to rise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the change in y was positive 5. The change in x is positive 4. So check out those two, negative 4/5 and 5/4. When you find the product of the two slopes, if they are indeed negative reciprocals, they would multiply to give us negative 1. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. 5 times 4 is positive 20. That simplifies to negative 1. So that proves that these two fractions are indeed negative reciprocals, and that proves that our lines AB and EF are perpendicular. So they intersect to form a right angle. You can mark that in the picture. Okay, good luck on the CYU and the homework. As always, if you have any questions, please make sure you ask your teacher.